Hello everyone, this is Ricky Thomas with Advantage Gambling Concepts, and today we're going to be doing the pass line grind. What I'm going to attempt to do is use these chips right here to show you guys how you can build a small but steady profit in the casino. Okay, we're going to talk about two different scenarios, and the first scenario is that you are of course, a controlled shooter. It's a 7. Alright, the second scenario that we're going to talk about is that you're not a controlled shooter. So this is the pass line grind for both controlled shooters and people who aren't controlled shooters. Okay, and that's what we're going to focus on. Now, before we get into this thing, I'm going to just explain it. I'm just going to explain the theory to you before we get into it. Okay, so a lot of people have different betting strategies. Okay, one of the ones that's out there, one of the more popular ones that's out there is what's called the iron cross. All right, and in the iron cross, a person will put 1 unit. In this case, it's $10 on the pass line. All right, and then they'll establish a point, and then they'll put 1 unit on the field. Okay, they then will put 2 units on the 5, the 6, the 8, and let's just say the point. Let's just say the point is a 4. All right, so this is the iron cross, or some people call it anything but 7. The beauty of this betting strategy right here is that the only number that kills you is 7. I'm sorry. They would have put odds on the pass line. The only number that kills you is 7. All right. So the idea here is that if you're a controlled shooter and you're utilizing the iron cross, and you can shoot more than just, let's say, 6 rolls before 7ing out, you're going to make money on this betting strategy right here. You make good money on this betting strategy right here. Okay. And then what they'll do is they'll hit certain numbers, and they have like a win goal. And as soon as they reach that win goal, they'll go ahead and take these bets down, with the exception, of course, of the pass line, because that can't be retracted. Okay, so the idea is you get in there, you hit a bunch of numbers, you make money on every single roll as long as it's not a 7, and then you take the bets down whenever you think the 7 may be getting close, or you reach your goal, and of course you do it all over again. Okay, the problem with the iron cross, I have $100 here in chips. Okay, the problem with the iron cross is that, as you can see, it takes just about all the chips I have in front of me to utilize the iron cross. The only thing I have left is $2. Alright, so what happens in that situation there is if somebody 7s out early, you're losing about $90 on that. Okay, so more, because the 6 and the 8 require a little bit more on the bet. Okay, so then you can start to lose, and that's gambling. The iron cross is a form of gambling. Okay, it's high risk but high rewards. Okay, so we're looking for a situation that's low on the risk but actually high in the rewards. Okay, and that's what the pass line grind is. Alright, now you're not going to be winning a whole lot of money at first with the pass line grind. Okay, you're just not. Well, be that as it may, you slowly build up a profit over time. Now, I just want to make one little observation here. Okay, in order to do this thing and, of course, be successful in the long run, at a $10 table, you probably need about $800 of stake to be able to do this. And if you're wondering what kind of a bankroll you need about $800 to make a minimum $10 bet and put 2 bets up at any given game. Okay, about $800. All right, some people will get $800 and they'll do all these silly betting strategies, like the Iron Cross. The casino, even if you're a controlled shooter, wants you to do something like the Iron Cross because you're putting all these chips all across the table, and they know that 7's coming, and that 7 is going to wipe everybody out, and they know it, and that's why they want you to play that way. The casinos don't want you to play the way I'm about to show you. They just don't. Okay. The last time I was in Vegas, I was doing this. They literally forced me to make bets on the other players. Okay. They did not want me playing this way. They don't like it. It's not against the rules per se, but anytime you start doing something a little different and you start winning, the casinos are always going to change the rules on you. Okay, I don't like to say anything bad about anyone, but I'll just go ahead and say it. The casinos are pretty corrupt, all right? They just are. And a lot of people are like, you go there, you make friends with the dealers. The dealers are not on your side. The dealers are on the casino's side. And there's a little bit of psychology you have to understand about these dealers, okay? And that psychology is these people are working for multi-trillion-dollar companies. I don't know how much the casinos make, but they make a lot. You're talking about a casino that makes millions of dollars in revenues, and they pay their workers minimum wage. Okay, most craps dealers and most dealers that I've known in general are very bitter people. Okay, they're people who are broke. Rarely do they ever really live by themselves. They always live with like other people to make ends meet, and they're very bitter. They're very hostile. They don't like the players. So I'm not going to go too much into that because it's a negative thing, and I kind of don't like it. So just to know, the dealers are not on your side. And I'm not trying to make anyone mad. If I offended someone, I'm sorry. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start without further ado. I have $105 in front of me. There's 100 right here. There's 5 right here. I've got the white ones just in case I have to make bets on the 6 and 8s. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, this is, of course, a scenario where you're a controlled shooter. Okay, you're going to, of course, bet money on the pass line. When it comes to establishing a point, we are going to try to pick whatever point we want to hit. You see the way I pick those dice up? In a preset, I'm going to pick them up. Now, I'm holding a iPhone in my hands. Okay, so that makes throwing awkward. It kind of stifles my movements. Let's see if I can hit that 4 and 10. That was a very good roll. The dice landed a little too hard, and they came back a little further than I like. Okay, but other than that, it was a very good roll. All right, so here we go. It's the 5 and the 9. So essentially what's happened now is because my point is a 9, I'm going to put money on the 5, and of course I have the 9 covered with the pass line. And my job is to hit the 5s and the 9s. The reason this works is because as a controlled shooter, I can hit these numbers more often than your average person can. Okay, so I actually have an edge. Now the casino would normally have the edge in this situation because there's more ways to roll a 7 than there are to roll a 5 and the 9. Okay, so the casinos are like, ha ha ha, we got the edge. They don't have the edge right now. I do. I'm in a very good position to hit that 5 or that 9. Let's just see what happens. And it's an 8. I'm presetting the dice, the 5s and the 9s again. Looking for that win on the 5. It's an 8 again. It's a 3. You see how the dice stay together? Very good rolls. Very good rolls. Let's see if I can hit that 5 or that 9. Now, if I don't hit that 5 within 5 rolls, I'll take the bet down. But I don't have to worry about that right now because I just hit the 5. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pay myself. I owe them back $1. And I'm going to remove my 5. Now the only thing I'm going to worry about is, of course, the win on the pass line. Now, if I happen to 7 out right now, and I could, I'm not going to worry too much about it because I actually just made money on the pass line. I'm sorry, I just made money on the place bet 5. Okay, so even if I 7'd out right now, I'd still be up $4. Okay, so that would make this is a winning session, or a winning game, no matter what. And it's an 8 again. I'm close. Just need to bring home 5 and I'm sorry, the 9. Well, I hit the 5 again, but trying to hit the 9. Now, some people would be looking at this situation and they'd be saying, Rick, if you had money on that 5 still, you would have just made, some more money. And you're within 5 or 6 rolls. Okay. What you have to understand about this strategy is it's better to guarantee a profit than to risk money for additional profit. That's where the slow grind comes in. And I just hit my 9. So I'm going to go ahead and pay myself. Actually, I'm going to put that right up here. Now, what I want to do is I want to keep track of my rolls. Okay? With a green chip. This blank green chip right here represents a game where I hit my point. Okay? The blank red indicates a game where I 7'd out. I did not hit my point. Okay? And what I'm going to do is if I win money, I'm going to put it to the side of my chip stack right there. That way we can see just how much I actually won. So now we got a new game going. All right? I have a winning game under my belt. How long was that? That was about, what, 5-6 minutes? And how much money did I actually make? I made $24. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, like, holy cow, you can get rich doing this. You can sure make a lot of money real fast, okay? What you have to understand is you're going to have games where you 7 out right away and you lose that $20, okay? So, you have that to factor in right there. The end result is a slow grind. Now, of course, I just hit the 11, and that gives us some profit right here. I'm just going to put it on the stack, because on the big stack, to kind of replace it, make it a full 100 again. Okay, now you're probably looking at my past line bet and you're saying, Rick, you're not making any hedge bets here, and you're not taking out insurance, you're not putting like a craps check out there. No, I don't do that. The reason being is because as a controlled shooter, I know I'm probably going to hit my point, okay? And I know that I win with a 7 or an 11, and I lose with a 2, 3, or 12. So to me, that's fair enough. And at the end of the day, it's going to even out. Okay, at the end of the day, it's actually going to even out. I'm going to preset the dice to the 4s and 10s. And we're going to go with that. 4s and 10s. I preset it to the 4s and 10s. It is a 4. Now you're probably asking yourself, like, Rick, will this work in a situation where you're not a controlled shooter? It's more difficult to make this work, but it is doable. Okay, it is doable. I'm going to preset the dice to the 4s and 10s again. 4s and 10s. Oh, I got money on the 10. Okay, and of course the past line bet covers the 4. Oh, that was a bad roll. Okay, here's the thing about being a controlled shooter. It's not called controlled shooting because you're controlling the outcome of the dice. I mean, to some degree you are. Let me say that again, to some degree you are. But really what controlled shooting is all about, it's about controlling the amount of force that's projected through the dice. Okay? If I take these dice and I shake them and I roll them, they're going to land on the table, they're going to tumble, 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 tumble. They're going to tumble all the way to the back wall, they're going to hit the back wall, they're going to bounce everywhere. And that's when you get random numbers. Random numbers are to the casino's advantage. They are not to the player's advantage. They may seem profitable when you have all those crazy bets out there, but that 7's coming and you're going to lose, and the casino knows that. Okay, so that throw that I just did was kind of bad because the fact that it went off the table indicates that I threw them a little too hard. But again, I'm holding an iPhone in my hands, so that's a bit stifling. Here we go. Questionable. Another questionable roll, but it is a 5. Didn't quite hit my 4 or 10. Alright, so here we go. Presetting the dice again. I've rolled 3 times now, right? A 5, I'm not sure what the other one was, and one that hit the table. I'm sorry, one that fell off the table. That one's a 6. I believe that's 4, unless I've totally lost count. So I'm going to throw one more time, and then if I don't hit either the 4 or the 10 on this roll, I'm going to go ahead and take down that place bet 10 right there. Alright, so here we go. That was almost a good roll. It would have been a 7. That was almost a good roll, but as you can see, again, I threw it too hard. So that right there is an 11. And it's now time to take down this 10. Now you're probably asking yourself, you're like, Rick, why are you doing that? I'm doing it because I want to protect my profits. You got to protect your profits. Now, you're probably saying, well, if you're a controlled shooter, then you should be able to roll a bunch of times without rolling the 7. Here's what you have to understand about the controlled shooter, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and dispel a little myth here. There are people out there who believe that just because you roll like 30 times without hitting a 7, that you're a controlled shooter. And this is not so, okay? Even a random roller can roll like 30 times without hitting a 7. All right, so that in and of itself isn't an impressive feat. All right, so I'm not looking to roll no 30 times without hitting a 7. Okay, I'm just not. What I'm looking to do is I'm looking to hit specific money shots. Like the 10, I was really trying to go for that 10. I didn't hit it within 5 rolls, so I take it down, protecting my profits. Okay? Protecting my profits. I'm still going to try to hit the 4. As a matter of fact, let me do that a little differently. Still going to try to hit the 4. Alright, and let's see how that goes. But now, being a controlled shooter is not about rolling, it's not about 7 avoidance. Okay? It's not. That 7's coming no matter what. Okay? What controlled shooting is really all about is, of course, hitting specific numbers. Hitting certain numbers more than others. Okay, when I first started doing controlled shooting, and I wasn't that good at it, I was always the only bets I would make is on the 6 and 8s. And I would practice hitting those. I got real good at hitting those. 1 second. Frustrating. I would have hit my 10. But it's better safe than sorry. Okay? It's better safe than sorry. I like that play. It's a decisive play. Okay? I made a decision to protect my profits, and I stand by that decision. Here we go again. Let's looking for a win on the pass line, a 4. And it is a 4. And of course we win on the pass line right there. And because we won, we have another green chip. Yay. Okay, time to take a little Dr. Pepper break. Relax, breathe, bend your knees, stretch a little bit, think about what you're going to do with that money, okay, get ready for round 3. Now, I already got my money on the pass line. Here we go. This is what I'm going to do now. Because this is the 3rd game that I'm playing. I hit my point twice. Because this is the 3rd game, I'm aiming for the 6s and 8s. Because those are the easiest numbers to hit. That's not gunfire, that's fireworks. Alright, so it's a 5. Here we go. Now, what makes a good gambler? Okay, what makes a good gambler? Let's think about that for a second. I'll tell you what makes a good gambler. Skill and knowledge of course, makes a good gambler. But above all that, you have instincts. Okay? Instincts. You gotta know that, you gotta know when you should make a bet and when you shouldn't. Okay? I just rolled a bunch of times without rolling a 7. Okay? So if I did my usual where I put $10 on the 9, and I try to hit it, I'm probably going to 7 out, and I'm probably going to lose not only what I got on the pass line, but what I got on the 9. Okay, so I don't think that's a very good idea. Okay, I just don't. Remember, it's all about protecting your profits. Okay. It's all about protecting your profits. You cannot be a grinder if you do not protect your profits. All right? So I'm not going to worry about the bet on the 9. Okay? Because this is a high-risk situation. Even though I'm a controlled shooter, I'm not going to make that bet. Okay? Nor am I going to make any other bets. I'm simply trying to get the win on the pass line by hitting a 5. I have the dice preset to the 5s and the 9s. Now, will I hit that 9? Probably, okay? But remember, it's better safe than sorry. 4, hard 4. All right. Now, you're probably looking at that and you're saying, Rick, what you're describing right now is a cognitive distortion known as the gambler's fallacy, okay? And the gambler's fallacy works like this. You believe that because something hasn't happened, it's going to in the future. Okay? So, for example, to put this in context, you have a gambler's fallacy in a game like roulette. A guy looks up at the numbers, he sees that red is hit like 20 times already, so he reasons that because black hasn't shown its head in 20 rolls, he figures black is a very good bet to make. So he puts his money on black. Only problem is it's red, okay? And that, of course, leads to the Martingale System, where people are thinking to themselves like, it's got to be black like any spin now, so let's double our bets and try to see if we can hit a profit. The problem with that is, while black is coming, okay, black is coming, the fact of the matter is it may not be within the next 10 rolls, okay, or even the next 20 rolls. It can be a freak number like that. And that's when you get somebody who, just threw all their money away on the gambler's fallacy. Okay, so I suspect that 7 is coming. Okay, that's not the gambler's fallacy. That is a mathematical fact. Okay, it's already a statistical anomaly that it hasn't come already, because I've rolled well within 6 times already. As a matter of fact, this is my 3rd game. And in my last game, I rolled at least 6 times. I think the game before that I rolled at least 5 times. So I've already rolled a bunch of times already, and it should have been here. But of course, it ain't. So the only thing I can hope for right now is to hit my 5 for a win on the pass line. If I lose, I lose. Fair enough. A 4. Now, I preset the dice to the 5s and the 9s. You see how it looks right there? The 5s and the 9s. We got it's a 4, it's a 1 and 3, right? When I preset it to the 5s and 9s, I'm trying to hit a 5. That's how it looks all the way around. Okay, you see how either the 2 or the 3 is usually on top? Okay, you see how the dice were together when they were over here? Those are indicators that I'm throwing the dice correctly. Okay, I do have moments when I throw them just a little too hard, but again, I'm holding an iPhone in my hands. Most controlled shooters cannot hit their numbers under these conditions. That was a very good roll. Okay, it doesn't have a very good result, all right, But the dice didn't hit that hard. They stayed together. They tumbled just a little bit, but that's to be expected. We of course lose on the pass line. Now, if I would have made that bet on the 9, I would have lost that too. Okay, so now we're going to take the blank red chip. Dun, 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 and we're going to put it over here. So we know we've had 3 games with 2 winners, 1 loser. If you guys hear that noise, that's fireworks. I live in a bad neighborhood. I need to hurry up and start making some money so I can move to a nice neighborhood. In case you guys are wondering what I do for a living, I'm a mental health guy. I do social work. Oh, oops! I totally forgot to make my pass line bet. Okay, so now that I've 7'd out, other people are going to be playing. Okay, during this period, while other people are playing, I am not going to make any bets. I just won't. Okay, I just won't. The reason being is because how much profit do we have right now? We have $15 in profit right now. Okay, so the reason I'm not making any bets is because as soon as I do, instead of your chips looking like this, it's going to look something closer to that. Okay? Because most people are going to 7 out and they're going to do it right away. I don't believe that there are any really accurate statistics on how often players 7 out. Okay? I don't believe that at all. Okay? I just don't. When you think about all the craps games that's playing in Vegas, okay, there's nobody there recording the data and showing how often the players win or lose. Okay, I saw one statistical number that said that 60% of random rollers 7 out. Okay, they lose. So your average random roller is going to 7 out like 6 times out of 10. Okay, I think that's a bit high. Okay, because most people that I see in Vegas will 7 out within 1 or 2 rolls. Okay, I see people going on lucky streaks, of course, but that's very rare. Most people 7 out right away. So where's they're saying that people are going to, on average, lose 6 games out of 10? Okay, I think that's bullcrap. I think it's probably more like 8 games out of 10 is what I think it is. Okay, maybe even more than that. But as for me, I've done thousands of rolls. Okay, and the statistics done on my shooting has indicated that I'm 60% to hit my point. 60% to hit my point. That's pretty good. Okay. Of course, I have my moments when I really outdo myself, and I'm making a lot of money. Okay, because I'm winning like 8 games out of 10. Okay, but that doesn't happen that often. On average, I'm about 6 out of 10. Okay. Now, for some of you who want to see me play for real, my games have been recorded, and you can watch them on my channel, where I walk up and I play, and you see me just hitting numbers. Okay. Some people are saying that I put my best games out there, and that's what I put on YouTube, and that's actually incorrect. When you look at my videos, you're going to be impressed, okay? But if you think that's impressive, here's what you have to understand. My best games are not even published, okay? I have one game where I beat the pants off of the casino, and it's beautiful. And the only reason I haven't published it is because I suck at making videos. I mean, hence the iPhone, right? I'm gonna go ahead and do this right here. I suck at making videos, and I try to upload that video where I beat the pants off this casino, but I wasn't able to. I kept getting an error message when I was trying to upload it. Here we go. So my best games are not on YouTube. Okay, it's a 5, points 5. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make the bet on the 9. I'm going to preset the dice to the 5s and the 9s. Now in real life, of course, other people will be shooting right now because I 7'd out in the last game. Okay, but I'm not worried about that. Here we go. That was a flimsy roll. If you guys were watching carefully, one of the dice flipped in the air. Very bad. Okay, so I have the dice preset to the 5s and the 9s. Looking for that win on either the 9 or the 5. This is a critical moment because if I 7 out, I'm going to lose most of my profits. And it is a 10. Critical moment. I could lose most of my profits right now. All right, here we go. They tumbled a little too much. Not good. I'm a little tense. There is a psychosomatic effect whenever you're whenever you're doing controlled shooting. Okay? I have a master's degree in clinical psychology. Psychosomatic effect is something that starts in the mind and affects the body. Okay? So if you're tense because you're a little anxious about the idea of losing most of your profits in this one game, you're going to have tension physically. Okay? And that's going to cause you to throw the dice a little harder. Okay? If I don't hit either the 5 or the 9 with this roll, I will take it down. Just because of that by itself. But I did well. I hit my 5. And it's time to pay me. Booyah. It's time to take the 9 down because we don't need it no more. And it's time to add another green check. There we go. Okay, so that's a concept that you guys have to think about if you're doing controlled shooting. The psychophysiological effect that anxiety has on you. Psychosomatics. If you ever want to see psychosomatic effect in person, this is what you do. You get a string, okay, and you hold it out in front of you. And of course, you keep it as straight as you can. You then imagine that the string is swinging a little bit, okay? And what will happen is that string will start swinging a little bit because it's a subconscious movement. You start swinging it. I learned that from a guy who was a hypnotherapist. So psychosomatic effect can be very, very powerful. And where it comes into play in controlled shooting is, like I said, tension in the mind is tension in the body. Tension in the body is tension in the muscles. Tension in the muscles, you're throwing the dice too hard. That's when you 7 out. Okay? Now just think about all the pressure a controlled shooter is under whenever they go to Vegas and they're standing at a live table. That's a lot of tension. A lot of tension. If you watch my videos, I'm laughing, I'm telling jokes, I'm talking all kinds of smack. I actually make it look easy. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just trying to say that because I'm aware of this phenomenon, I'm better equipped to manage it. We're looking for the 4s or the 10s. Why am I looking for a 4 and a 10? Because it's the hardest number to hit. Very good roll. Look how close they are together. Wow. That was just an expert roll, and I'm proud of that. I mean, look how close they are, and it's a hard 10, and they hardly moved at all. That was a fine roll. Even if I 7 out, I'm going to be proud of that one roll just by itself. Okay, here we go. Looking for that 4 and 10. Oh, not too great. A good one, a bad one. Well, that one's a 9. Okay. Not too bad. Notice how the 5 was on top. Okay. 4s and 10s. Not good. They tumbled a little too much. They actually hit like here, and then they tumbled all the way over here. Not good. That means I threw them a little too hard. Tension. A little too much tension. Breathe. Relax. Bend the knees. Take a deep breath. Think about something good. This is not about winning. This is about perfection. This is about perfection, really. And I told him off the table. Ay. All right, so here we go. It would have been a 7 too. Yeesh. Would have been a 7. So, throwing him a little too hard saved me right then. Wow. Who knows what it would have been if it would have stayed on the table. All right, so here we go. 4, 10. And I hit my 4. In fact, I got 2 4s. All right. Sense of humor helps. Sense of humor helps. Why am I tense for? I'm not even playing for real money. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm going to publish this video. Here we go. A little flimsy. We had 1 roll off the table. We had 2 8s. We had a 9. That's 4 rolls that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm throwing them a little too hard. I'm trying to make an assessment as to whether or not I'm going to go ahead and take that 4 down. Throwing them a little too hard, a little tense. Made my point in the last one. Already rolled 4 times. I'm going to go ahead and take the 4 down. I am now going to look for the win on the pass line. Now, I would love a situation where I can take the pass line bet down, but of course I can't do that. Okay? Alright, now, that's okay, because I'm 60% to win with my point. Okay, so in the long run, I'll make money with that. It's a 7. I dodged the 7 on the 4. Okay, You see what I'm talking about? Instincts. I lost that on the pass line. Not good, not good, not good. We get another, dun, 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 dun. We get another red chip for our effort. Right there. Oh, yeah, that's aggravating. But I did save a bet on the 4 because I made a very good decision to take it down. Very good decision to take it down. I'm growing tired of the 4s and 10s. I'm gonna go ahead and go for the 6 and 8s. That's an easier number for me to hit. 6 and 8. Got a 3V, 6 and 8s all around. Easier number for me to hit. Hey, there's that 4 that I was looking for. You see how the 3's on top? You see how the dice are together? See how the 3 is right there? That dice only changed like a face over. That indicates to me that that was a good roll. And I'm on the right track. Whoops. So my points of 4. Points of 4. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do in this situation here is I would put money on the 10 and try to hit it. Okay? But I am looking for a situation where I'm going to hit a number. My stack right here, my winning stack is dwindling just a little bit. That makes me uncomfortable. So with that being said, I'm just going to look for a win on the pass line. Not going to bet on the 10. Okay, looking for, of course, a 4. It's a 3. Now, some people have a problem with this. They think to themselves, like, you know, this guy's rolling and he's hitting all these numbers and he's basically allowing money to slip through his fingers. No, I'm not. Remember what I told you about those, about all those bets? And that's actually what the casino wants you to do. It's a 6, easy. And just as a note right here, I started with $105, okay? Now, this is a situation where I actually don't have enough money to make it, okay? The reason being is because, like I told you, I need a good $800 to play and be able to make it in this game. That doesn't mean I need to be playing with 800 like right there in front of me. That means I need a bankroll of at least $800 to make a long-term profit playing this way, okay? Because I might lose that $100 in one game. You see what I'm saying? I might have a session when I just keep 7ing out and it's just all bad, okay? But as I keep shooting and I keep doing my thing, I keep hitting my numbers, what ends up happening is that ability that I have begins to shine through. And that's when I start making the money. Okay, so here we go. Not quite the 10, it's an 11. Winner on the field. So I got some guy, you know, fresh off the airplane. He's from New York. He's betting on the field. He's like, yeah, man, yeah. Whatever. And it is a 4. Booyah. Pass line win. And we get another green chip. Booyah! Boing! So we see when we win, and we see when we 7'd out. Okay? I would love to put an additional chip to show when we hit a money shot. So for example, if our point's a 4, and I put money on the 10, and I hit that, that's a money shot. Okay? I would love to put an additional chip here, right, to show what games I hit money shots in and what games I didn't, but I don't think I really have to do that. You know, I just record the profits right there. I let the profits do the talking. This video has been going on for 51 minutes and 30 seconds, and I've been talking for a good 6 or 7 minutes. So we're just under an hour with this. Now, we would be at an hour, okay, in a real life casino, because of course it would take a few minutes for people to make their bets, and for the table to get cleared, and of course for the dice to be brought back to you. So that would have taken a few minutes. I'm gonna roll a couple of more times how many do I have here? Should I do 10? I don't know. I think I'm gonna go one more time, just because I think I'm starting to bore you guys. Okay, looking for that 6 and 8. Okay, now you're probably asking yourself, why am I looking for a 6 and 8? It's because it's the easiest numbers to hit. Okay, why is that? Here's one of the things you have to look at whenever you're playing, whenever you're a controlled shooter. You have to look at the effect of fatigue. Okay, this is not as easy as it looks. All right, so as you start to become fatigued, essentially what's going to happen is your ability to hit certain numbers more than others is going to decrease, and pretty soon you know better than a random roller. All right, so we'll do this for one more time. If you're a controlled shooter and you find yourself getting tired, you gotta stop. All right, it's a 7. I actually win right there. Dun, 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 dun. Was I aiming for that 7? No. But did it happen? Yeah. The next one could be a 3. The next one's probably going to be a 3. 6s and 8s. Would you look at that? Another 7. Hey, controlled shooters get lucky just like anybody else. You know what I mean? That happens. No way. No way. 7 again. That's just incredible. You know what? I had one game when I was playing, and this is recorded. I had one game that I was playing. I was betting just like this. No hedge on the pass line, okay? No insurance, no crap shit. And I rolled 3 like 4 times. I couldn't believe it. You have got to be freaking kidding me. It's an 11. Oh my god, that is just insane. Time to pay myself. Yeah, the casino will be getting a little pissed here. Man, I'm going to keep putting it on that 6 and 8. That seems to be working well for me for whatever reason. Here we go. Very, very, very good roll. But it's a 4. It was almost a 6. That was a very good roll. Oops. So there we go. Now, because I made so much money on that pass line, I'm going to go ahead and put some on the 10. I am now going to preset the dice to the 4s and 10s, and I'm going to try to hit that. Here we go. Not good. 7. And we get another red chip. Boing. Whoa. Wait. Alright, so we've been playing for about an hour. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop with the controlled shooting aspect here. I'm going to go ahead and subtract. We hit the 7 3 times. Right? We just lost 1. And then we hit an 11. So I'm going to go and take those out. How much did we actually make doing this by hitting money shots on either the pass line or on the place bets? We made about $25. $25, $24. Okay, in about an hour. Alright. And if I kept doing this, you would see a slow but steady profit. We actually made more than that, of course, because of our lucky pass line win. But because that was a lucky element, I'm not going to include that. Okay, I made about $24. Why do I say 24 when I got 25 there? No, it's actually 25. Yeah, so we made about $25. I thought I gave one back too. Never mind. Yeah, apparently I can't count. Okay, so $25 is what we actually made by hitting those money shots, and you can see it here. I didn't go to 10 games, but you can kind of see where 60% is starting to shine through. Okay, now let me just take a minute and explain how you can do this, of course, considering you're not a controlled shooter. Alright, you're just a guy who's in there playing, or a girl, you're in there playing. I'm going to go and put these up. So you're in there playing, and you're not the sort who can hit these numbers more than others. Okay, so what does that mean for you? What does that mean exactly in terms of you grinding it out on the pass line? Let's just take this small stack here. And let's just say this guy's betting over here and he wants to grind it out on the pass line. Okay, so if there's no controlled shooters at the table, okay, I mean, considering there is, it's a safe bet to, well, it's not so much as a safe bet to bet on them, because essentially controlled shooters, not all controlled shooters are good at what they do. I've seen a lot of people over the years attempting controlled shooting at the tables. some good, some bad. I've only seen about 3 legit controlled shooters in Vegas playing craps since 2014. Okay, I've been playing craps about 6 years. So since 2014, I've only seen about 3 legit controlled shooters, okay? The rest of them are people who try to do it, but don't really know what they're doing. For example, you'll see a guy presetting the dice, and he'll do something like 3V, okay? And then he's picking the dice up, and what he'll do is he'll like rub the felt, which is bad because you're starting to loosen your grip, okay? And then he'll just throw the dice too hard, okay? He doesn't know what controlled shooting is. He thinks that by presetting the dice, he's doing something. He's not doing anything. He's just gonna lose. Okay, so most of the controlled shooters I've saw, their methods are inadequate. Okay, I've seen some really, really, really good ones, but they're far and few in between. So it is by no means an easy skill to master. The way I look at it, I'm still learning. You know what I mean? So it's like this. Here we go. You want to know when to make a bet and when not to. Okay? So you're going to, of course, put $10 on the pass line. Is there any guarantee that you're going to hit a number? No, there's not. I'm just random rolling right now. What is that? It's a 5. There we go. Points of 5. You're not gonna make any additional bets. No fields, no silliness, nothing of that sort up here. Okay, if you want, you can do something like this. Okay. You can do something like this. You can bet on the 6 and 8. Okay, let's just say you're not the shooter, so you don't have something on the pass line. That's what you do, the 6 and 8s. Okay, you're looking to make money shots. Let's see what happens. I'm random rolling. Shake it and roll it. Shake it and roll it. Here we go. They're tumbling. Would you look at that? He made his point. Okay, so those are gonna turn off now. So this guy is gonna do it again, right? He shakes it and rolls it, shakes it and rolls it. They tumble all over the table. 6. Points of 6. You're gonna leave those up. Okay? You're looking for any indication that this guy might 7 out, okay? What do I mean by any indication? He's throwing the dice way too hard. Some people just like, bam, like chuck it down there like it's a baseball. If you see that, you're gonna take your bets down, okay? But if he's just like random rolling it, that's fine. It's an 8. So what are you gonna do right here? Okay, you're going to collect. Give them back $1. You're going to collect and you're going to take it down. And that's all you're going to do. Okay? That's all you're going to do. Now you're probably thinking like, Rick, you can leave that up for a few more rolls. Nah, you don't need to do that. A 6. The guy made his point again. Okay? So he's just made money. Now you're probably thinking like, Rick, you just let some money slip through your fingers. No, I didn't do that. What's going to happen is that could have easily have been a 7. Okay? People are looking at what could have happened instead of looking at what is happening. What is happening? I'm making a decisive decision and I'm protecting my profits. That's what is happening versus what would have or could have happened. Okay, the gambler doesn't live in a world where the hypothetical what ifs are real. Okay? It's an 11 on the pass line. If you're not the shooter, are you going to bet on the pass line? I wouldn't. As a matter of fact, especially if it's a cold table, I would bet on the don't pass. But that's just me. Okay? That's just me. That's the most mathematically correct bet on the table. Okay, so now the shooter just rolled an 8. Are you going to bet on him? No. Why not? Because he just made his point twice. Let's see what would have happened. Let's see what happens if you... Imagine you had chips up there. Imagine you had chips up there. Oh, what is that? What's that? Imagine you had the 6-8, or you had a pass line, or you had 5 or 9. You would have lost that. You see what I'm saying? You got to protect your profits. You got to remember, the gambler's fallacy isn't entirely a fallacy. Okay, if that 7 hasn't come, it's coming. Okay, it may not come right away, but we're not going to concern ourselves with that. We're not going to make any additional bets. We're going to protect our profits. And that's what being the grinder is all about. Protecting your profits. Okay, so here we go. This guy, another shooter comes out. Some lady from Arizona. She's like, yeah! She's all excited and everything. She throws the dice. Oh man, it's an 8. Should you bet on her? Should you bet on her? Yeah, go ahead and bet on her. Why not, right? So what number do we think is going to hit? Let's do something simple. Let's do the 5s and the 9s, okay? We're going to count the rolls. We're going to count the rolls. She's shaking it and rolling it. Here she goes. It's a 6. Okay. We're taking a sip of our drink. We're trying to calm down. We hope we don't lose. It's a 9. Winner on the 9. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to give him back $1. And we're going to take it down. Keep your profits separated from your original stake. So, again, people are like, you should have kept it up there, man. Let's see. What's that? That's a 2. What's that? Cinco dos, adios. We just dodged that 7 for $20. We just dodged that 7. That's how you do the pass line grinder, even though it's not really the pass line. That's how you do the pass line grinder if you're not a controlled shooter. Remember what I said? It's got to be knowledge. What takes a good gambler? Knowledge, skills, but above all else, instincts. You got to use your instincts. Okay? And you got to play the safe game. If you just made a profit, take it down. Okay? Protect it. Okay? So someone else is coming up to roll. All right? Some guy from who knows where, he comes up and he's like, give me the dice, give me the dice. I want to roll them dice. Are you going to bet on the pass line? Are you going to bet on the pass line? Nah, let's not. Let's just see what happens. What does he hit? An 8. Points an 8. You going to make any bets? No, I think I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to go ahead and sit this one out. I don't know this guy. I want to watch him shoot first. There's a 5. Now what happens if this guy goes on this super long roll where he's just rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling? Well, kudos to him. What does that mean? Nothing. It doesn't mean nothing. Okay? because it could have easily have been a short roll with the godforsaken 7. And there it is. That's what we dodged. We protected our profits. See, if he would have went on this long roll and he's hitting all these numbers, okay, people get upset about that. Don't get upset about that. You're making a decisive decision. You're protecting your profits. You're showing discipline at the table. And that's what being a professional gambler is all about. All right, so now that you've watched the shooters, you know more or less if they're good shooters or not. I mean, if people are 7-ing out right away, and they keep 7-ing out right away, you know the don't pass is a pretty good bet, okay? But if they're rolling and they roll about 5 times before they're 7-ing out, you know you can go ahead and make 1 or 2. It doesn't have to be 2. It can be 1 or 2 bets, right? 1 or 2 bets. Now, there's a core concept here that we need to go over. And the core concept is expected value, okay? I'm about 60% to hit my point. Whoops. So because I'm about 60% to hit my point, I have to, I make bets on the pass line, and I'm comfortable with that because I know that more often than not, I'm going to make money on that pass line. More often than not, okay? So, I'm not worried about the pass line bet at all. I'm just not, okay? So what is my expected value? It's 60%, okay? So I know that if I have $100, and let's just say I play 10 games, okay? I know I'm going to hit my numbers in at least half of those games, okay? Those are money shots. And I know that because I can take it down, I know that I can actually turn a profit doing that. Because I not only take it down, I play a very safe game. Very safe game. You guys saw me. I'm very conservative, okay? So yeah, that's how you establish your expected value. Now, if you're not a controlled shooter and you actually haven't done statistical analysis on your shooting like I have done, okay, so you don't actually know what your percentages, what your hit percentages are, okay, how do you know your expected value? Well, you kind of don't, okay? So what you have to go on in that situation there is it's not just about instincts, but you have to look at, in psychology we call it nomothetic data, okay? We know that statistically people are going to roll about 5 times before they 7 out, on average. Now, do we got shooters who roll a 7 on the first roll? Of course we do, okay? Of course we do, okay? But we know that people are going to roll a few times before they actually 7 out. So we know we can make one or 2 bets and hope they hit, okay? And if you see anything that makes you uncomfortable with the shooter, if you see anything, if he's drinking too much, if he's throwing the dice too hard, if you've seen him 7 out a bunch of times before, if you see anything you don't like, you use your instincts, you take it down. You protect your profits. You don't worry about the what ifs, because we're worrying about what's happening right now. What is happening? You're being disciplined, you're sticking by your game, you're making a decisive action, okay, to protect your profits. And that's what it's all about. Okay? If you start losing, let's just say you start losing. Okay? If you start losing, fair enough. Don't sit there and play till you're dead broke. Pick up what you got left and leave. You got to be disciplined. You gotta be disciplined. Pick up what you got and go. Now, if you want to sit there and play till you're dead broke, go for it. But it's your money, it's your decision, it's your call. But you want to make good calls, not bad ones. Okay? So, those are two scenarios right there where you can actually use the pass line grind to make profits. Now, can you do it like the way I did, where you put money on the don't pass and then put money on whatever number you think might come up? Sure, you can do it that way too. Just remember, you cannot take that bet on the pass line down. Okay? You can't. One thing you can do, you can hedge it. Okay? You can hedge it. And then you can put money on one of the numbers, okay? And if you think the guy is going to 7 out, then of course keep it there. But if you think that he might hit his point, go ahead and retract that don't come bet. I'm sorry, the don't pass bet. You can, okay? You can. But that's kind of one way you can have the best of both worlds. All right? But other than that, I don't like to do it that way. I used to do it that way when I first started playing. But I got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put money on the pass line or the don't pass. And if I lose, I lose. You know? Fair enough. So, and then I'll put one of my numbers. Whenever I lose, I don't sit there and say, Ricky, what the heck is wrong with you? Or you got brain damage or something. I don't do that. Here's why. Because I'm being decisive. I know that if I make a decision at the table, unless it's a really bad blunder, I'm going to go ahead and take responsibility for that. And even then, I don't beat myself up over it. I'll just be like, okay, I made a mistake right there. I'm not going to repeat that mistake again. In the future, I'm going to do this instead. Okay? That's kind of how you have to work it. So, I hope I haven't bored you too much. And I hope you learned something here. Even if you're a controlled shooter. I want to thank you guys for watching my videos. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And, of course, comments are welcome. I don't mind critical comments. I just don't like it when people start talking trash and it's like unnecessary stuff, like personal insults. I don't need that. Okay? So, yeah, give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and of course subscribe to my channel for more crap stuff coming on the way, okay? Thank you. Bye.